Hello, Lego here, and we're back today on F1 2020. And today we're going to be doing another track guide. This time it's going to be at Austria. As always, we're doing one lap at full speed, one lap in detail, and then I'll walk you through the setup. That was the lap. It's 1 minute 2.9 as you can see there. And now we're going to go in much more detail so that we can master the Red Bull Ring. Heading down the main straight into turn 1. The braking point is going to be just after you pass that orange barrier on the left side of the track. Use all of the outside curb on entry while braking, and then turn in early. Use all of the inside curb on the apex, and then run out wide onto this curb on the exit, activating the DRS. Going down this straight here. Turn 2 is the little kink in this straight, and turn 3 is this corner right here. The braking point is going to be just after that 100 meter board on the left. Braking, you can brake quite late because it is uphill, but the traction is definitely more tricky, so utilize the short shifting to get on throttle as cleanly as possible, activating the DRS and then heading down this straight into turn 4. Braking is much more tricky. Braking on the 100 meter board, it's so easy to lock up since the braking zone is downhill. Turning in while trail braking, using the inside curb to get the car rotated mid-corner, and then short shifting into 4th gear. Do not use the outside curb on exit. Get on throttle as early as possible. Heading into this sequence of corners, the 50 meter board is your turn-in point, but you're not going to want to brake until you pass that orange barrier on the right, braking while turning, and then use all of the outside curb on exit to widen your exit and open your entry into this next corner. Braking for this corner, you want to brake just after this road on the right goes out of your view, and then using all of this curb on the right on the exit of the corner before heading into the final 2 corners. Going into this corner, the turning point is that 50 meter board. Start on the red and white curb, and as you get off that curb, that's when you want to brake. Use the inside curb and use all of the outside. Braking for the final corner just before that red runoff goes out of your view. Braking on the curb on entry, and then using all the curb on exit, and that was a lap of Austria. For the setup now, we're going to go into detail for each component, starting off with the aero, using 3/6 wings. This is because there are quite a lot of straights at Austria, so that's why we've got to use the low front downforce. However, for the rear wing, there are quite a lot of high speed corners, especially in that second and third sector, and there's also a couple tricky traction zones out of turn 3 and turn 4, which is why we're using that little bit of extra rear wing. For the transmission, using 50% on throttle and 54% off throttle, as I just found that that's what gave me the most rotation, which is important, especially mid-corner through that sequence of corners into sector 3, because you are off throttle through quite a bit of that section, so it's important to be able to have that off throttle rotation. For the suspension geometry, negative 2.5 front camber, which is pretty standard, negative 2 rear camber, which I'm probably going to start running for most of my setups. It just gives you so much more rotation into the corner. It's pretty crazy actually. And then minimum toe on both front and rear. You want to do that for literally every single track. For suspension, I said this in the last track guide, but this pretty much goes for all parts of a setup. You have to experiment with it on your own to see what you're comfortable with. But what we've come up with the suspension is 2.7 suspension, 1.8 anti-roll bars, and 2.3 ride height. For the brakes, 100% brake pressure, 50% brake bias. Nothing too crazy there. And for the tire pressures, normally you'd run minimum, but we're running slightly higher, as I found that just gave me a little bit better stability, especially through sectors 2 and 3. That's going to be it for this track guide. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I post F1 content 3 times per week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.